anything else? Flight attendant said, you want anything else? I said, do you know, if you need me to move to the front of the plane to help with that weights and balance thing that I've heard about, I'm willing to move up to 1A. And she goes, okay, 1A. So she moved me to first class. And I'm sitting up there laughing, and this lady I'd been visiting with on the plane in the row next to me goes, I bet he's lonely. So they moved her up too. All right, so here's the thing. When you're traveling, if you don't get upgraded, how many of you want to sit in the aisle seat? Aisle seat people, raise your hand. How many of you want to sit in the window? Okay. How about this guy right here? Not only do you not want to sit there, do you want anybody there? So what do you do to inhibit people from considering this as a viable seating option? What do? Put stuff there, very good. Seat savers work really well. Here's another thing. You raise the armrests up and you casually command the largest possible area. If they want to sit here, they can have this little area right here, right? Now, do you make eye contact with people? No. You don't want to appear interesting or attractive, right? And number 3, you mentally will them to keep moving past your row. When they approach your row, you beam your thoughts to them, and with the power of your mind, you pull, keep moving. You might as well have those little cone flashlights out here, right? All right, now, so boarding slows. It's a false slow because first they board revenues, then they board standbys, and then they'll board non-revs. And if they have open seats and stuff, that's when boarding gets a little bit more tough. And people are told to take the first available seat. Now it's time to be just a little more aggressive about it. And what I recommend that you do is reach into the seat back pocket ahead of you. You're going to find a little bag there. Move to the edge of your seat. It works, people. If you have an option where to sit and you see me with my head in an air sickness bag, this is nature's way of saying keep moving, keep moving. And if they slow down, I'll do this. If you sit here, can I have your bag too? Now, just when you think nobody else is going to board, the last person gets on the plane. It is, in fact, the designated BSG. It's the big, sweaty guy. They're required to pre-sweat them before they're allowed to board. Now, where's the big, sweaty guy going to sit? Right here. Big, sweaty guy is sitting next to you. There's nothing you can do about it. And I've watched people smile, but their brains are doing what? Bummer. Don't make me start over. Bummer. Here's one more piece of the puzzle. I don't know if you know this, but on flights that have first class availability, they'll board the revenues, they'll board the standbys, they'll fill up all the seats, and then if they have frequent flyers in the back, like me, and they have first class availability, they will, and they have some people that misconnected, they'll come back and get us and secretly move us to first class. They don't tell anybody. They come back with a little list, whisper to you, take you away, nobody sees you again. Now, I used to be a fraud investigator. I would watch as they'd come and get 1 or 2 people and take them and then replace them with like replicants or something. And they don't like to talk about it. They don't want to tell anybody about it. And I was on a flight going to Ontario, California. I didn't get upgraded. That's a what? Nobody's in the middle seat. Visiting with this young lady here in the window seat. And just before the plane left, flight attendant leans across, whispers something to her. She gets her stuff and they leave. Nobody says a word to Tim. And this guy walks up and he goes, I'm in that window seat. And I said, there's a lady sitting there. And he goes, what lady? And crowd's over. And flight attendant walks by, the one that took her away, and I put my hand out and I said, what happened to the lady that was there? And she goes, what lady? And I remember the first time it happened to me, I'm on a plane, I didn't get upgraded. This is on a United flight, I didn't get upgraded. That's a what? Nobody's in the middle seat. You got to celebrate the little things. Visiting with somebody here in the window seat. Just before the plane leaves, the door closes, I hear this voice in my ear whisper, Mr. Gard. And I look up, my heart just falls, you know. Flight attendant, little printout. Yes. And she goes, please get your gear and come with me. No, I didn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing. You go away now. I didn't do nothing. And she takes my arm, and I'm telling this woman, help, help, help. And she takes my arm and we go up to first class and she sits me down and she goes, "Sir, you didn't do anything wrong. You've been upgraded to first class for free." And before she can tell me to keep my mouth shut, I'm back in coach going, "First class for free!" But now here's the thing. Let me put all this together. I'm on a flight traveling from Boise. I'm going to Boise, Idaho, connected in home out of Pocatello, Idaho, little town. And as I'm walking along, I'm connected into my gate. And I walk up and they're already boarding my flight. They're boarding my flight. And I have an hour before the plane's going to leave. I thought I was in the wrong time zone. And I said, "What's going on?" She said, "We're boarding early." I'm not going to go sit with them. I'm going to go visit with the latte lady. The latte lady was selling pond scum candy, which I had never seen before. And so I bought all she had. I bought 50 packs of pond scum. I bought it all. I own it all. And before she could tell me what it did, she points behind me and says, "Sir, are you on that flight to Denver?" I said, "I am." She goes, "I think they're leaving without you." And I turn around and look. The boarding area is empty. They have boarded that flight. They're leaving early. They are leaving without me. And I threw her some money. I'm jamming pond scum in my pocket. I go running past the gate agent, and I tear my ticket. "Sorry," Run all the way down to the end of the jetway. Here's another jetway. And I run all the way down to the end of that one. Here's a third jetway. I mean, I'm almost back to Pocatello. And I get up to front of the plane. The door's closed. The flight attendant has closed that door an hour early. And I don't know what to do. And I'm, "Hello? Hello?" So I knock on the fuselage. This little face appears. It's a flight attendant. She's saying something. I can't hear her, but I can see her lips moving. And she's doing this. She's saying, "What do you want?" What do I want? I mean, what do people come door to door selling cookies or something? I mean, and I'm... And she opens up the door. I thought she'd apologize. She opens up the door and she goes, "Now I have to do the safety instructions again." And before I realized what I'm doing, I said, "Bummer." And then I thought, was that out loud? Did I say that out loud? And I did. And she goes, "Take the first available seat." And I thought, no way. I get on the plane. I look down the rows. First class is full. That's a what? Nobody's in, there's no aisle seats left. Somebody's moved from their middle seat to my aisle. All that's left are 3 or 4 middle seats. Let's see who that lucky person is that has to move back. And I look at my boarding pass and it says, "Seat not assigned." And as a little bead of sweat comes down, I realize I am in fact the designated big sweaty guy. I'd even been pre-sweated. They made me run that little gauntlet. And I throw myself in the middle seat between these two very angry airport suits. Now, do these men want me here? No, so I'm trying to be a good seatmate. I'm trying to make myself as tiny as I can. And I'm trying to make friends because I can't go 2 hours without talking to somebody. And I'm, "Hello. Lucky thing I made this flight, huh? All this space would have been wasted. Hello. Is it me or do these seats get smaller every year?" Nothing. We back up just before the pilot takes off. He announces we have a flat tire. We pull off on this little spur. We're there for 4 hours. 4 hours, no air conditioning. It is the heat of the sun on this airplane. My heat-activated deodorant is way past activation. These two guys are still on page 1 of USA Today or whatever they were reading. I've done everything I can do. I've exhausted the battery on my laptop. I read the magazine. I read Sky Mall. I went up to front of the plane. All they had was 8 issues of Single Working Mother magazine. I have children. I don't have children. Read it anyway. And I'm finally reduced to reading the last thing I'd never read before, the safety instructions. Now, have you really read them? The very first thing it says is, if you're seated in an exit row and you cannot read or understand this, contact the flight attendant. Okay, so if I can't read or understand it, how do I know to ask for help from anybody? And I'm laughing hysterically. In my heat-addled brain, this is the funniest thing I've read in years. And I'm trying to explain myself. If you can't read it, contact the flight attendant. Ha! And all it does is scare him. He's way over here. And now this guy's looking my way. I know if I turn my head quick enough, I can, "Hello." Now he's trapped. He's got nowhere to go. And he goes, "What?" Now, I don't know what to say. I mean, we're chatting. You don't have to know what you mean to chat. I mean, It's not like we're going to build a submarine out of common household appliances and have to show our work before we land. And by the time I'm done with my internal dialogue, he's way over here. And I thought, well, I'll try a little of this pond scum. So I poured it in my mouth. It's very sour. And I thought I didn't get a good mixture, so I poured a little more in. Big clump fell in my mouth, and I'm mixing it together as I read the directions. And it says, sour foaming candy. Wait 10 seconds for foaming effect. And I can feel it expanding in my mouth. And when it gets here, I have waited too long. And I go to get up, and I got my seatbelt on, and when I lunge forward, it erupts out of my mouth all down the back of the seat, and I'm doing this and foaming, and this guy yells, he's having a heat stroke! The two suits get up and run away, and the flight attendant sees me doing this, and she's yelling for those defibrillator things, and she gets me up on my feet and packs the pond scum, go everywhere, and she drags me up to the front of the plane. She said, sir, do you need an ambulance? I said, no, it's just this pond scum. But I said, my shirt and suit jacket are ruined. And she looked me right in the eye and she said, bummer. She said, now go back to your seat. And I went back to my seat humiliated, but the greatest thing happened. The plane took off 10 minutes later. The suits never came back. I ended up having the whole row to myself. So when this company went out of business, I bought the rest of them. I own them all. In fact, it's made in New South Wales. Here's the thing. I know for a fact when I travel, I'm either going to sit next to the big sweaty guy or what? Be the big sweaty guy. When I walk down that aisle with my boarding pass, I'm going up to the Gold Coast day after tomorrow. If anybody's going, save me the middle seat. But if I walk on that aisle with my boarding pass, if I'm walking along and there's a middle seat just like this right here, and I walk past and these people seize up because they think I'm going to sit there, and when I go past I hear, shoo, I'll give them about 2 rows. And I will go back. You can almost see their heads blow up like that Scanners movie. I'm going to have fun and nobody's going to stop me. And this is the gift that I want to give to you to take back with you as you do that voodoo you do so well for another year. Laugh at the things you can. Be serious about the things you have to. Have a comic vision. Don't get angry. See the funny. Laughter becomes you. Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I state your name. Promise to use my comic vision every day. I'll have fun. I'll use humor first for myself. And I'll share it. Hi, sign. Thanks for sharing it with me. Have a great year, everybody. Take care. Woohoo!